Hey everyone. I of course hope you're doing well through these complicated times, pandemic or otherwise, and that you're safe and optimistic through it all, however involved you may be. Now, September ended more than 2 weeks ago now, but better late than never. Time to talk a little bit about what I got over the month. First up in movies, there is the Blu-ray release of Black Widow. Of course, the first MCU movie we've gotten in about 2 years, I believe. Kind of taking place after Endgame, but flashing back to shortly after Civil War. We have Natasha teaming up with her old spy family to try to take down the organization that overall created them and is still making Black Widow assassins. I'll admit, after all the anticipation over the years and the delays and stuff, it's not necessarily the ultimate possible spotlight for the character, but still fills in quite a few pieces, answers some questions. Is a nice overall action movie. Good installment to the franchise. Although personally, I'll admit, for me, the viewing experience was kind of weird going back to a single 2-hour story, given all the episodic overall weekly Disney Plus shows that we've had. Two Criterion releases. There is Love and Basketball, released in 2000, directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. The title is pretty straightforward, but to elaborate a little bit more, it's about a man and a woman experiencing highs and lows involving both their personal relationship with each other and their own athletic hopes. It's actually the feature debut for Prince Bythewood, and it's still pretty well remembered, so happy to have it, even though I'm not usually one for sports movies. Some more Transformers Kingdom toys now. First, there's the Predacon Scorponok from Beast Wars. I still can't quite remember, but the original version of him might have been my first ever Transformers toy. Either that or Polar Claw. I got them on consecutive days, I think. But given his shape and name, of course he turns into a scorpion. A little more realistic now, even with his colors, but also has a more show-accurate appearance. The missiles in Cyberbee don't fire, but it's nice to have them included. Yeah, I'm really happy to have them. They're a nice Predacon edition. And then the next fossilizer figure, Wingfinger. Maximal, who turns into a Pteranodon skeleton, but also can break apart into various weapons and armor and stuff for compatible figures. Also, this top piece to the skull can separate into a combiner head for various fossilizer mix and match combos that fans like to create. Some people have kind of mixed opinions, but I actually really like this one, like the ones before it. Back to Criterion. The big box set, Melvin Van Peebles Essential Films. Big set with, I believe, the first 4 features, directed by the very recently departed Melvin Van Peebles. Passed away actually less than a week before this came out. Especially sad timing. The movies span 1967 to 1972, with the story of a 3-day pass, Watermelon Man, Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, and Don't Play Us Cheap. It also includes some early shorts, the 2003, I guess, kind of biopic, Badass, in which his son Mario plays him, and lots of special features. So even before the entertainment world lost him, I was still really looking forward to getting this. So there's a little bit of extra significance now to checking these out. And for the final, like on disc purchase, my first ever 4K release, even though I still don't have a compatible player for it. So this is kind of like a preemptive buy. Transformers the movie. The 35th anniversary edition from Shout Factory. But also has a Blu-ray copy. Of course, the 1986 classic in various perspectives. What started out as basically a flashy cinematic toy commercial to get rid of old product and introduce the new is now also remembered for various story and world building and character concepts that still leave an impact to this day. Has some old special features and some new stuff. Not getting rid of any of my previous editions. And whenever I happen to get a 4K Blu-ray player, as I believe they're called, I'll be happy to check out the new version, new edition. And finally, 2 comics from IDW, issue 34 of the Transformers Ongoing, written by Brian Ruckley with art by Anna Malkova. Main story with the Ascenticon original founder, Termagax, preparing herself and her mobile fortress for an imminent attack, while Jumpstream and Skywarp also catch people up on their recent ordeals. And then the immediate follow-up with issue 35, written by Brian Ruckley, still with art by Anna Malkova, as an attack on Termagax and her house, as it's actually called in story, leads to a full-on Autobot Decepticon battle. Then a little one-shot, the Transformers Halloween special, written by Dan Waters, art by Beth McGuire Smith. Not necessarily effectively scary, but still kind of a more unusual story about Starscream investigating an eerie legend to sort of test his potential as a key Decepticon. Then issue 8 of the Transformers Beast Wars ongoing. Written by Eric Burnham, art by Winston Chan. Continuing the story of Black Arachnia and her debut in this version of the Beast Wars story, as the Maximals try to find her as she infiltrated their base and hope to undo her mysterious evil plan. Put a stop to her. And finally, issue 2 of the Transformers Shattered Glass Shards miniseries. As a reminder, somewhat of a post-war Cybertron setting in a world of heroic Decepticons and evil Autobots. Written by Danny Lohr, art by Daniel Canna. Continuing from the previous issue, Starscream manages to find the self-exiled Megatron, and his former leader thinks back on key events that led things to the state of affairs they're currently in. So that is it. Nice little assortment. Various movies, a couple toys, some comics. Pretty Transformers heavy, but still some distinctions here and there. Even with October now in its second half, I feel like there won't be many surprises for me when it comes to what I pick out. I'm still happy with what I'm expecting and happy with what I got for September here. So of course, like I said at the beginning, hope you're doing well through all this, with a mix of being careful and looking ahead. So with that, I'll see you maybe mid-November, something like that. Maybe earlier, maybe later, to talk about the October purchases. See you later, folks.